There are many people that just listen to music because they like it. Actually, they don't pay attention to even the text or lyrics. They just like the sound of it. So such people, the music may not affect their personality. And there are some people that listen to just the lyrics. And that lyrics may have an impact on them. Either it may repent them or it may make them calm or the other way.
Turn around. Turning point. Yeah. He's a turn around. Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Ocran. Welcome you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and the Graphic Group of Newspapers. You can also find us on the Springboard channel on YouTube. Subscribe and you will get every edition as it goes live. Today, I want to explore one of the most central themes that runs through our entire lives from cradle to grave, that of music. We want to talk about the language of music. How does it originate? How is it inspired? And why is it such a central part of our lives? Why do we always dance before we even ask about the lyrics of songs? My guest for today is more than qualified to do this because he's not just a composer and a performer, but he has a PhD in music theory and composition. My own brother, a regular on this show, Dr. Alfred Patrick Addaquay.
Hi.
Good to see you, Doc.
Also, good to see you too. You look so good. I like your outfit.
Thank you very much.
Buy some for me, please.
Thank you. Good to see you, and thanks for making time to be here.
You're welcome.
When we say the language of music,
Yes.
why is it called a language sometimes?
All right. So when we are talking about language itself, metaphorically, it moves beyond just speaking. For instance, let me give an example. When I'm passing through East Legon and I hear a particular sound, it speaks to me in terms of music. It will tell me whether this is coming from a church or from a mosque or from a club. Now, even with the church, the sound only will tell me the kind of language the church is speaking. Is it from a charismatic church? Is it orthodox? And even in African traditional music, the drum playing, we may hear it as music, but at times it's playing language. It's signaling a whole lot of things. So music itself is a language, even without the lyrics. It evokes a whole lot of spirit. And in that language, unless you understand the language, you know this is coming from Caribbean, or this is coming from Arabian, or this is Indian, this is this. So that is where the language of music itself is, beyond the language we speak, yes.
For somebody who takes music at the very highest level, lecturing and researching in this way,
Yes.
do you find that the level of your immersion in music will determine the level of your appreciation?
Of course, yes, because even in music, unless you have been exposed to a particular type of music, at first, let me give an example. Even when it comes to Islamic religion, what they sing, I thought they were songs until I asked my house help, because he's a Muslim, and he told me that is not a song. They see it as a call, But I was analyzing it in a form of song. Now, when I realized,
Why?
of course, because when they sing, I start analyzing the scales they are using, the kind of melodies, the contour of the melodies and all. But they don't see it as a song, But then I began to appreciate it as a call. Now, in the appreciation, you realize that now, because I understand it in a particular way, now my mindset of how the music sounds is different. I will still call it music because of how it is. So when you are in the music school, for instance, you realize that even silence is music. When I came to this auditorium, there was a little bit of some silence. To me, it was music. It's an effect, Then there was a bit of background music with others talking just a little bit here and there, a little bit of the breeze and all. They all form part of what music is. But it depends on your level and how you appreciate. So I agree with you that music is still in level. Even no matter how high level you are, there are still levels in music that you've got to understand. Yes.
Let's talk about music as an ever-present part of our lives.
For sure.
In my reflections before this show, I came to the conclusion that, listen, at every stage in our lives, music is there, literally from the cradle to the grave.
Yes.
Walk us through pivotal moments in our lives and how music plays a key part.
Your first coming on this earth, the first crying you even make is music in one way or the other. Now, the heartbeat of the child that the child feels is still music because that heartbeat is rhythmic, And of course, when you come in, your mother singing lullabies and all those things, or you even before your naming ceremony, you still hear music, And the naming ceremony, there is music. When you are getting married, there is music. And of course, at times when you are sad, you feel like playing music, happy music. So music cuts across in various ways, depending on the information you want to give. Myself, for instance, when I am sad, the best music to play is instrumental music. I will not want to hear words because I want to be analyzing what the instruments are doing, what the flutist is doing, what the strings are doing. So those things, take my mind off my problems. Maybe the lyrics may even add more pain to what what I'm going through, So I think it depends on whoever is listening. But music has always been part of whatever we do. Even in the market, at times they still play music and all. Children going to school, most of the rhymes we hear or most of the things they learn with, they would have to start singing with them, in a form of music. So music cuts across the whole of our lives. That is difficult to take it out of it. Yes.
Let's talk about the experience, the emotion that it evokes. From my vocation, I will go to 1 Samuel 16, and the Bible talks about the fact that anytime the spirit came upon, an evil spirit came upon Saul, David played the music and Saul was well. That talks about a certain therapeutic power of music. From where you sit, when you say music is played at a funeral, at an outdooring, at a wedding, what is it supposed to do to us?
All right. So there are two types of what you are mentioning, the therapy. Let me start from the therapy because of how you started the whole thing. There is this research that Mozart's music has an effect on children and all those things. But in fact, when you move deeply into music, you realize they are all fallacies. Because that Mozart music may not do anything to someone, a child in Sugakupe or a child in Dambai or something, So it is very cultural. There is no one kind of music that solves all problems. So even the music during weddings that we are talking about, my kind of music that I may sing at a marriage ceremony may not work for another tradition somewhere. So the music is supposed to speak to a particular culture. And that culture may be a hybrid culture, like our culture in church, the hybridity between the Western and the African. And we have ceremonies where they are pure African. I attended a ceremony in northern region where the music was purely African. And the instruments played, the xylophones and all those ones, there was nothing hymn-like or what I am used to. So I realized that at that point, I was asking myself whether I am a musician or I can even fit within that. So at that particular moment, if you call me, I may not go and perform because the audience and all that. So I think that talking about what is supposed to do, the first thing is the message that is coming out. Looking at one thing that all of us are not very good at, musicians everywhere in the world, is that when we go to any function, we pick any song at all. at times you realize that it's a funeral, but the song that you pick has got nothing to do with the funeral, all because
Actually,
people love it.
I think that sometimes you also may sometimes be obsessed with a particular latest album you've done, and you must
Exactly.
sing the song. Personally,
We are biased towards that.
I see the conflicts that sometimes arise from your most popular song and the
Yes.
latest album you've released. You want to
Yes.
sing the album you've released, and the crowd wants to hear the popular song. and you get
Exactly.
upset. But you wrote it.
But it may not even suit the occasion.
I agree.
I quite remember when Stella Dugan brought this song,
Da, da,
Jimmy
da.
Tata, Jimmy Kwan Kodri Fie Jojo, Esume Drume, and all that. People were singing that at weddings and all that. But actually, if you are listening closely to the text, that song is not supposed to be sung at any joyful occasion, because at that point she was going through a lot, So if she says esume drume jeme tata na chere me kwan kodu fi dojo na me ni oboafo bia wo bibia and all that, it's a very emotional music. But since it becomes popular and everyone wants it, at times the audience may even request it where it is a very wrong time. So now the argument becomes that what makes a particular song wrong at a particular time. So I think the message is one, and of course the request is also another. For instance, if we are in a Christmas period, someone may request, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. It will still make sense in one way or the other. Someone may request. I quite remember around August, I was in a particular church and the Reverend Minister requested for unto us a child is born. So I asked him the reason why he wants that song. If it's around his theme, I'll be glad. But if it has got nothing to do with the theme of the day, because that song is a pure Christmas song. And he was like, oh, sir, okay, and remember. So it means that if I had played it, no one would have known it was requested. It would have been out
Of sync.
that's the whole thing.
But
So
rather, a song like Change from Glory to Glory.
For sure.
That's the second
Love
verse.
Divine.
Love Divine.
Yes.
Love Divine is sung at weddings.
Yes.
But that song, for me, my favorite verse is the second verse. And it's a salvation theme.
Yes.
So sometimes it's a blended theme. And I would say, sing me verse 2 alone and leave the first. It is worrying you. You need the first verse.
Yes,
and
I
sing the
agree.
second verse will
I
be-
agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Tell me, you talked about cultural diversity
Yes.
and music composition. What drives that diversity? Would you, for instance, say that the demographics, the character, the culture, the placement, the positioning, the environment of the people has an effect on the music that you hear from, let's say, Wale Wale, or let's say, Jasikan, or let's say, Axim? What goes into because the music types are very different, and you are right about that. What goes into determining that?
So let me give an example. In Ghana, when you go to some of the Sunsum churches, they play purely traditional music. They don't believe in Western instruments, So they don't believe in anything Western. So the music itself, the rhythm, the language, the instruments are all pure African. Some of them also do hybrid and all that. Now, it's also because of the epistemology of Sunsum.
Which means
How
English.
how it began,
Okay.
the history, and what people know about Sunsum. So that is also a culture, there, and it is part of their belief that in the kind of culture in which they are, Western instruments may not work well for the kind of maybe angel or God they are serving, depending. Of course, when you also come to the Orthodox Church, when you go to a church like Accra Red Church, the most important instrument to them is the organ, the sound of the organ. They don't really like the sound of the synthesizer, what we do with the trumpets and all that, because to them, when the organ leads, it brings out the theology. So moving out from church, even the sound of xylophone, it's difficult to hear it in Menchia Palace, because Ashantis also believe in their phantom from and all that, where Northerners believe in xylophones and all that. So they all come through epistemology, where the instrument was manufactured, one. And the music that they believe in, of course, sometimes some of them may talk about their gods. and the music their gods like, the instruments their gods like, and all that. Music could also be for rituals and all. So it all depends on the diversity. Is not just for entertainment. Some are for entertainment and some are for reasons, So you just have to appreciate. When I started, of course, I couldn't appreciate all the diversity because I'm from a pure Orthodox church and I was used to the organ and the hymns and classical and all that. Anything outside classical to me was fallacy until I grew in music and realized that we do not have to look down on any kind of music. You just have to appreciate the various diversity and respect, people's theology, even personal theology. You've got
Appreciate the diversity and respect the theology. The words of Dr. Alfred Patrick Addaquay, my guest today on Springboard Virtual University, as we explore the language of music. If you didn't know, music is a language. It's a fascinating blend of emotions, ideas, experiences that transcends words. And that's why some music does not even have words and it still connects in a very special way to people. We also are talking about different cultures and the kind of music that they release and what informs the kind of music, the instruments that back it, and the epistemology.
Yes.
That's the word I'm meant to give it today, or the origin
Yes.
of the music and its equipment. Let's go to inspiration,
For sure.
especially as relates to composition. How do you yourself get the inspiration for your songs?
All right. So, I have always been inspired by what masters in music have done. Of course, when we talk about masters in music, we are always biased. We mentioned the Beethovens and the Mozarts and all that, But however, even in Africa, we still have our masters, whether traditional or what. So whenever I'm writing a particular music, I target a particular audience and a particular master in his style. At times, it comes as just inspiration. But one thing
Who's your favorite?
Very difficult. Handel used to be my favorite when I was growing up.
And Handel, which song would be your favorite?
Hallelujah Chorus. Of course, Unto Us a Child is born. Because that's what I grew up with. Because I realized that even in classical music, there are periods. Baroque period, classical period, where Mozart and all those, and then the Tchaikovsky's romantic, and they all have their own meanings and their own how they evoke their spirits and all that. So I realized that there is diversity. So we've got to appreciate every music and how it goes. Now, one of the arguments that most reverend ministers at times raise is that I think that is where I come from. Of course, I am not a theologian, but I think that at times theologians also forget about personal theology. You mentioned inspiration. That's why when I was young, there was this song that came, Erade wo meko. So I used to ask myself that, what kind of a song is this? This is a discouraging song. As if God is not. But I went through a particular situation where I was looking for something. All my friends had gotten it, and I hadn't gotten it. And I asked God that. Then I remembered that music, because at that time, it was her personal theology. Because everyone composes based on what they believe or based on what they learn. So at times the inspiration comes from what you are going through. At times it also comes from what others have done, or both. So the inspiration, and at times it could be an exercise. For instance, in the classroom, when I ask you to write a fugue like Bach, it's an exercise. So at that point, maybe there is no inspiration or anything. You are just looking at the structures and composing according to them. So there are various ways of inspiration.
Take a brief commercial break. So when we come back, let's go a bit more into the journey of our lives and how music is an ever-present part. Please don't go away.
Going to the library. Going to the library.
Okay. I'm going for my graduation. Who will?
Education changes stories, and being part of these stories is the real passion for us. MTN.
No stress. Submit your insurance claim online in just seconds on the Claims Express portal. Simply upload your national ID, cost estimates, pictures, and more to get started. Submit online, track progress, and get paid fast. Skip the paperwork and get back on the road with ease. Visit claimexpress.enterprisegroup.net.gh for easy claims and quick payouts with absolutely no stress.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Learn something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skill sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Arabakumson and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Ocran A and at Albert N.E. Ocran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of MasterCard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308 255 775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
That wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall walk and not be weary. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. But they that wait, but they that wait, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. But they that wait, but they that wait, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew the strength. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew the strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall walk and not be weary. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. But they that wait, but they that wait, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew the strength. But they that wait, but they that wait, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. So wait for the Lord. 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 He will come upon you. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew. So wait for the Lord. So wait for the Lord. He will guide and uphold you. As they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. So wait for the Lord. So wait for the Lord. He will guide and uphold you. As they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
Welcome back to Springboard of Virtual University and to this incredible conversation about music, the language of music, and the journey from cradle to grave, and music as an ever-present companion. My guest, Dr. Alfred Patrick Addaquay, helping us to understand the ins and the outs of music and how it's more than just a song. Before I come back to Dr. Addaquay, let me just remind you that Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy FM, Joy News, the graphic newspapers, and the Springboard channel on YouTube. Let me bring you the Enterprise Advantage tip for today, and that's simply about how do I sign up for the Enterprise Pension Plan, EPP? How do I sign up for the EPP? And the answer is simple. You can do this right now by dialing *714 *333 hash, *714 *333 hash, or download the Enterprise Advantage app from the Google or App Store just to sign in. And this is brought to you by the Enterprise Group. Their number 030-263-4704. Email info.trustees@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise is definitely your advantage. Back to you, Doc. Tell me,
Hi, sir.
why does music evoke such strong emotions in people? Joy, pain, anger, inspiration. Why does music evoke such wide or various emotions?
Let me give a small story. There was a party somewhere. When I was in Takoradi, there was a party somewhere, and they were playing a particular type of music. Now, some boys were trooping in, and I realized that there was this kind of deviant behaviors around them and all. And then they were a bit rowdy and all that. So I told the DJ to start playing cool classical music. So when he started playing the cool classical music, they started leaving one by one, you know. So the DJ asked why I did that. And I told him that I know some kinds of music may even push you to pull a gun, depending on the kind of spirit it evokes. And of course, the kind of effect it has on you. So the emotions...
So this is like music and law enforcement.
Of course. So it depends. I think that sometimes even the emotions we are talking here about, the emotions are always not positive. Okay. You can hear a particular music and it will make you so angry that you will not like to listen to the music again, you know. So it's about the lyrics and how it has impact on your life. And it could be that it is something you are going through within a period or something you've gone through. If it is something you are about to go through, you may not appreciate the music or something. And of course, it may be something that really goes with either your personal life, as I mentioned, your personal theology or something, and you would really want to sing. You know, let me give you a last example. The hymn that says, "Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry." Now, there is this line that I used to disagree with, that while on others you are calling, do not pass me by. I felt that it is like you comparing yourself to others, and you may not know their dream, and you are saying you are calling on others, so do not pass me by. But also, when you are going through a particular emotional trauma, you will understand that. You will tell God that, you know, sort of. So it depends on what you are going through. That's how the emotion comes in. The lyrics really play.
Do you realize a certain correlation between the song you mentioned in the earlier part of the show that you said you did not agree with?
Yes.
And the song you just mentioned, even
Yes.
the lyrics,
Yes.
the flow,
Yes.
it's a typically
Similar.
identical pattern.
Yes.
Does it tell me anything about your personality?
Oh, well, maybe you have to tell me about it.
I'm just trying to explore, can a person's appreciation of music
Yes.
reflect their personality, the personality type? Are they melancholic and therefore they like some kind of music? Are they that kind of bombastic person, therefore they like some upbeat kind of music?
Yes.
Does personality influence your music preference?
It depends. It depends. It is yes or no. There are many people that just listen to music because they like it. Actually, they don't pay attention to even the text or lyrics. They just like the sound of it, you know. So such people, the music may not affect their personality. And there are some people that listen to just the lyrics, and that lyrics may have an impact on them. Either it may repent them, or it may make them calm, or the other way, you know.
What about age? Do you find that as you age, your preferences change?
Because as you age, different experiences come to pass, you know. Let me give a last example. Kofi Kinata has a new song called God Have Mercy. Now, there is a statement he made, and I was discussing with my head of department. He said, "Nyame minim said ubetumi ayi bibia na se bibi ohwo a wuntumi nya." He first said, "Bibi ohwo a wuntumi nya, minya hui." And he also said, "Bibi ohwo a wuntumi nya, enti na mebre ya na e ka kire me because onim se wuntumi nya." And my head of department was saying, "Necessary nkoka se bibi ohwo a wonya." Because if you say ontumi nya, then you are trying to say, you know. And then he also mentioned that Trasaku iminchi, Benzi iminchi. But then my head of department was also saying that this kind of song can bring in jealousy in people and can make people more angry. Now he sees someone in Benz, someone living at Trasaco, and he's jealous because he say Miminchi. But he was saying that you must work because someone also wants the Trasaco or the Benz, but he's not working towards it. So it makes people feel like, though I've not worked towards it, but Minchi interese minyabi, adewun to me na say. So, but then when you are looking at the twist of it, I also mentioned that there are some people that are also working very hard, but they are not getting the results they want. You know, they think they are working hard, they are not getting the song. So don't you think it is for such people as well? Because that at that point, they may think, you may not know what the person is going through. Actually, the sad story is that when we were playing it, there was a particular student sitting there. She cried and cried and cried and went away. And she said, "Oh, sir, please, we don't want to hear that music again because it was speaking to her life. That wabre was asi so opewe onya wabre." So the song really evoked some sadness in her that she doesn't want to listen.
When a musician is composing, do they have that end in mind? Do they have that objective in mind?
Not always.
To evoke that kind of emotion?
Not always. At times, they compose based on what they think the people will like, one, and based on their emotions. Like Daddy Lumba was composing based on what happens to him in his life. So he used to be mentioning names and all. But at the end of the day, how the same information is passed on to the others, they may not really have an idea. How you understand a particular song may be seriously different from how another person
So
will
one
understand.
song can make somebody sad,
Yes.
make another person happy.
Happy.
Why?
One song can also make someone jealous. And the same song can also encourage another person. Because the reason is that, you see, people's belief, you were mentioning something this morning, and it kept on ringing, that how you can even change the mindset of Ghanaians is a bit complex, and that's what you are writing on. And it is true. Now, there are some people, it makes them sad because of probably their mindset. So, as we were saying, if I'm sitting here and I'm not working hard and I think I deserve something, and someone tells me, go for it, you know, God can make it, go for it. And meanwhile, I'm not working hard towards it. At that point, I may think that, no, then let me force myself and go for, but meanwhile, I have not reached there, So at that point, that music is making me more rowdy. It is pushing me to do something which I'm not supposed to do. But that same music can also be an encouragement to another person. So I think it depends on what people are going through.
Let me zero in on the personal conversation between
sure.
yourself and your head of department.
For sure.
At the academic level, do you sometimes take what a musician has released, gospel musician,
Yes.
secular musician, high life musician,
Yes.
and then analyze the lyrics, the music, the tone? Do you do that?
We do that a lot, Otiame Kwame was in our department rehearsing with our band. And as the band was rehearsing, now myself and my head of department was there. And we could tell that we call a choral musician, I hanko be ni say.
Hey.
And choral music aka band ni we bon say.
Do you think you do well in choral? How you were just realizing that his style of music is not choral?
It's not choral, of course.
Okay.
So we were not forcing it in
I was
choral.
going to tell him on live on air that he should consider choral. He's another big friend of this show.
All those things are very important in music, as in even the mindset. At times, even the composer's intention is not really clear to the audience. I don't know whether you get where I'm coming from. So what he intends may be different from what the audience also intends. So the difference in terms of the meaning and understanding, they will forever be there. We can never understand.
Let's talk about grief, trauma.
For sure.
Moments of loss, moments of bereavement, moments of grief, moments of trauma, and the role of music in bringing relief in those moments.
For sure. So, for instance, moments of grief, at times it comes along a bit with moments of thinking about suicidal and all that. So, if you hear a phrase like, that one only can bring in a particular effect to the person, understanding that, hey, it's true.
So the music can change their
It can change their mindset.
Any wrong intention.
So much. It can also draw them closer to God, depending if the person is playing Abide With Me at that point, But if the person is also playing something else, it may really evoke the person to go and cut himself.
Let me talk about this DJ in Takoradi who asked you about the classical music.
Yes.
What you demonstrated at that time was understanding of audiences and what is. In fact, you literally predicted the audience's response and got it. What would you tell DJs? What would you tell people who play music based on what you know about how people consume and react to music? What would you tell the typical DJ who's listening right now?
Oh,
you seem to know how people will be when a song is played.
Of course. So you see, as a DJ, for instance, you must know the situation at hand, because there are some kinds of program that the MC or even the organizers request the kind of audience to be seated throughout the program. Such a program, if you don't take care and you play favorite danceable songs, it might move them to go and dance. And it might move them to, and if you don't take care, at the end of the day, the whole place will be baga because of the kind of song.
Intention of the organizers.
Exactly. So it may be the fault of the DJ, but we may not know. So they will also go like, oh, please sit down. It's not time for dancing because of the kind of music. So if you're a DJ and you don't get to know the kind of music to play, at which point you may miss, and the audience or even the organizers may not know it's coming from you, but actually it is, So if you think there is some rowdiness coming off here and there, and you can switch in some classical music.
Are you championing classical music?
Oh no!
because
even classical music, we have fast classical music and all that. So I'm talking about the slow ones. Let
me ask you, why is it that some type of music becomes timeless? Like there's some music that it was sung in the 70s and still people sing it. Still, do you think that the originators thought at the time they were composing that it would be timeless?
Okay, so personally, I do not believe that it's the originators or something of that sort. Some songs are timeless because it became a favorite within a particular period. And of course, the lyrics are still relevant today, So they will continue to be timeless, even like Bob Marley's music. Let's even talk about Hallelujah Chorus, which was composed more than 300 years or 400 years ago. It's still relevant today, But the same candle composed a whole lot of songs that may not be relevant today. So I think the relevance is very important. And when I'm talking about the relevance, we are talking about the lyrics, the instrumentation, the music itself, and everything.
And the timing.
The timing, yes.
Dispensation.
Exactly. But today, we have a whole lot of musicians. So it will be very difficult for one music to be in the system for more than the 5 years or 10 years we are talking about, because those kind of timeless songs, they were timeless in their era. They became favorite and people loved it up to this point. But these days, we have a lot of variety. We have a whole lot of musicians. And at that time, even let's look at Ghana. We had only one TV station and one radio station. Now we have variety of them, So today, as much as we are blaming our musicians that they are not playing songs that can last for long, we must also look at the diversity we have and the kind of exposure we have, even to social media, where now we can listen to variety of songs going on in the world. It's not easy for one song to champion the whole world like that.
There's the music edition of Springboard Adventure University with my friend and brother, Dr. Alfred Patrick Addaquay, just trying to understand how powerful music is and what we have assumed or do not know about music, but are living with on a day-by-day basis. Why did that Uber driver play that song for you? And since then, you have not forgotten that moment. Music is far more powerful than you think. So let's find out for yourself, how has music inspired or influenced your own worldview?
Of course. If you look at the kind of music I play, from childhood up till now, from my Orthodox background, anyway, theologians will beat me. They would say historical mission churches, not Orthodox church. And of course, I used to play classical music, art music, and all that. Of course, it's drawn all over my style of dressing, the way I talk and all, So I would say that my kind of music has shaped my life because of, one, the discipline involved, I'm not also looking down on other kinds of music. Let me talk for myself. Yes, that my kind of music has structure. It has time and all. So they all come with a particular discipline where you must not miss timelines, So if you have really studied me, I'm not really late at functions. You never see me late at functions.
Really. You don't say no, really. You are never. That's my personal experience.
I am time conscious because of the kind of music I play. We play with time. Maybe if it's a symphony for 50 minutes, we know that we must start at 9 and end at 9:50. If we start at 9:05, it will draw to 9:55, and all those calculations are very important. And of course, it has changed my understanding of the world because of various lyrics I have heard, and it has made me understand patience. It has made me understand a whole lot of things. I would say that it has a lot of positive impacts on me than the negative.
Do you think music is misunderstood or underrated?
Of course, yes. Also because of the diversity. That is what makes it underrated. If I say diversity, music is a kind of profession that you do not need a certificate to play. Unlike you need a certificate to be a lawyer. You need to be confirmed by a particular group of body to become a medical doctor. For music, anybody at all here can just get up and play music and be a hit, So because of that, the restrictions...
So like Papa Yao...
Who is Papa Yao?
my crew here, all the music.
For sure.
One day I went to New Ibrahim, and some guy produced a notebook. He said he had 7,000 compositions. I was looking at the guy and I just kept shaking my head. Only 7,000? How?
Yes.
He doesn't have money.
Wow, look at this.
Tell me, back to your point you made about how music influences the way you dress, and I've noticed it. So it means that you don't have the liberty, and no offense meant to anyone.
No problem.
You don't have the liberty to dress and behave like, for instance, maybe the hip life rap guys.
Because my target audience
wear shorts and
my target audience will not even allow me. Yeah.
And the spontaneity of what they do.
Yes,
you don't have that luxury.
Because my type of audience will not even allow me to do that. You know, my kind of clientele and my audience may not be ready to see me in that behavior.
There'll be some confusion.
Of course, there'll be confusion. They will not even love to associate themselves with me, you know. And it's a brand. It's a serious business I'm doing. But of course, those that also dress in that way, they also have their clientele. They are also not expected to dress like me. If they start going about their lives like me, they will lose their audience. So I think it is the branding. We were interviewing incoming first years. And one first year came in, he wanted to do music, but he mentioned that he's a rapper. And then the panel blamed him that his dressing was off the track because he's coming for a formal interview and all that, you know. But when he went away, I told the panel that probably it's because of what he does.
Allow him.
Exactly. You know, because of what he does and his kind of targeted audience. Yeah. So I think it depends on the audience. Yeah.
What does it say about copying? You see somebody, if you don't have the same audience that you copy, you could have a fatal crash.
It is very dangerous to do that. You know, someone mentioned that some musicians are only able to thrive when they cause negativity on social media. I don't think I can do the same thing, you know, because of, that's as I mentioned, you know. So it depends. You do not need to copy because everyone's dream is different. At times, I can imagine how, I don't know, maybe that one, you're a minister and you can tell me the more. Something that a particular person or an individual will say. The same thing will be said by another individual, and that individual will be in trouble.
Use the word theology.
Yes.
I'll use the word philosophy of life.
Okay, for sure.
Same meaning, but theology is the knowledge of God.
Yes.
I will restrict myself to the philosophy of life. The way people see life informs the way they express themselves. And if you have been socialized in a particular way, you believe it so much. And if people to see you that way, when you say it, they are not offended because that's how they know you. That's if I don't be even disappointed if you did something like Addaquay.
Yes, yes.
If some musicians dress like you, people will call and say, "Is there something wrong?"
No, it's true. It's true. It's true.
You know what? We could have this conversation all day, but to sign off, do me a favor.
For sure.
Talk to that young person aspiring to be a musician. Give them something that they can put in their pocket, and 20 years later, when they meet you at London Heathrow Airport, they'll give you a high five. You are right. Look into this camera and talk to that young person.
Oh, anyway, so all the young ones, let me advise you that music is patience. And music is also not imitation. It's not about imitation or imitating what others can do. Everyone's dream is different. You have to build your craft. And also, don't forget that in whatever you do, you have to let the world take you serious. And for the world to take you serious, you have to be aware that your craft is very important, your discipline, your attitude. You can be a very good musician. You can even be the best musician. But if you don't have the right attitude, you will not go anywhere. So add the attitude. When I'm talking about good attitude, we are talking about being disciplined, your time, your craft, and the way you deliver is very, very important. But I can assure you that it shall be well with you. Yes. And God bless you all.
You know, what I like about what you just said, a portion of it could have been a ditto as they say.
Yeah.
Cut and paste of something that the late Kiki Jan said before he passed. He had played for Osibisa. He said at some point in his life, he literally had £1 million and did not know what to do with it. And his final interview before he passed, he said, listen, you can be the best technician in music, but without discipline and the right attitude, it will bring you back to where you began in your village.
Oh, he said it.
It was so powerful and so poignant, especially because he said it at the end of his life. This has been Springboard Virtual University, just exploring the language the philosophy of music and it being our regular companion from the cradle to the grave. And this has been brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, the graphic newspapers, and the Springboard channel on YouTube. So we come your way again next week. My name is Albert Ocran. God bless you, and God bless you.